whenever there is talk of bad times on Earth. So the name of the Second World War definitely comes in it. Don't know how many innocent people lost their lives unnecessarily in this world war. Don't know how many houses' lamps were snatched away by this world war. There were some such people in this fierce world war. Even those who got death, that too after dangerous torture. From children to women, no one was spared. Let's know what was this torture in this video. And if you are new to this channel, so do subscribe our channel. The story is of Unit -731. This unit used to be a unit of the Japanese Army only. Actually this was the work of this unit, testing biological and chemical weapons made in Japan. But in order to carry out this test, they used those prisoners, those who used to be locked in the jails of Japan. According to Daily Mail, close to 3,000 dangerous experiments were done here on the prisoners, most of whom were prisoners of China. But apart from this, experiments were also done on Russian, British and American prisoners. It is called that these are just those figures, which were issued by the government. Actually this figure was much more than this. The Second World War, which started in 1939, lasted till 1945. In these 6 years, this unit also worked hard. First of all, this unit did its experiment regarding cold. Actually, the people of the unit wanted to know, after all, how much cold a person can tolerate. For this experiment, he selected some prisoners from the jail. Then they were made to stand on those snowy mountains, without clothes, where the temperature was between -30 to -40 degrees Celsius. Those prisoners were not just made to stand there without clothes. Rather, to keep an eye on them. Always 2 soldiers were also kept, whose job was pouring cold water on them from time to time in buckets. Till then water would be poured on those prisoners, until his body becomes like a stone. Along with this, they used to beat the prisoners with sticks. That too just to check this, that the body of the prisoner has frozen from the cold, or not. Then when he felt that the prisoner's body had become like a stone, so they would take him to the doctor. The doctors here do not treat them. Rather, they would also experiment on them. To make the prisoner normal again, would have poured boiling water on it. This unit did another experiment, in which the virus was deliberately inserted inside the body of the prisoners, so that it can be found out. That's how the disease does its work. And what changes happens inside the body due to this. As soon as the virus went away, an inmate would get sick. So they would make him lie down on the table for the experiment. Then here without anesthesia, they would start tearing apart the prisoner's body. The people on whom this experiment was done, they were known as marauders and logs. Another experiment was done, in which they wanted to know, after all, what happens in the human body after being shot. For this he tied a prisoner to a pole. First he was fired from near, then from a little distance, then from a little distance. When the prisoner's body was riddled with bullets, so he would have been kept on the experiment table. Then his body would be ripped open. After all, which bullet has done what work? Along with this, grenades were also thrown near some alive prisoners. Tried to find out from this. That's how terrible the grenade is. And if a person faces the grenade from such a close distance, so what happens to his body? A doctor told after many years, that when they were testing a gas weapon, so at that time due to the wind, that gas came towards the doctors only. Due to this they narrowly escaped. After this the pressure chamber experiment was done. In this they put the prisoner inside a container. Then the air pressure in it would have been increased so much, that first of all the eyes of the prisoner would burst out. It is told, that many prisoners had died in this experiment. Not only this, some prisoners were made to sit inside the spinning wheel, and a force test of 25 to 30 G was done on them. Don't know how many prisoners lost their lives in this too. Then the time came to do the deadliest experiments. Actually, the government of Japan believed at that time, that if we have good doctors, so our loss in war will be less. And to train these doctors, more use of prisoners was started. Any prisoner, anytime brought from the jail, would have been kept in the lab. Then the doctors would have amputated any part of that prisoner alive. First hands, then feet, then neck. In this way every part of the prisoner would be cut off. A doctor himself told this thing, that it used to take them 90 minutes to cut a prisoner like this. Then it started here, experiment of sexual infestation. In this experiment, prisoners were forced to have sex with female prisoners. If any prisoner refuses to do all this, then he would have been shot. Due to this fear, all the prisoners would agree to do all this. But here, before having sex, a virus would be injected into their genitals. Actually, Unit 731 wanted to know, how does a sexually transmitted disease like syphilis spread? Apart from this, after inserting the virus in the body of many women, they were also made pregnant. So that it can be seen, what is the effect of that virus on the newborn. Many women used to die in this sequence. It is believed even today, that many children were born there after this experiment. But no one could come out alive from there. Because even with them, dangerous experiments were done there. For a very long time, this unit did its work in a secret manner. And no one even got a clue. But then the time came in 2018, when the Guardian took out a report on this unit. Actually, Japan itself had given this report to them, when this thing came in front of the world. So many questions arose regarding this unit. The amazing thing is that all the people who had worked in this unit, he agreed to these experiments, and said that yes, such works were done here. According to the information, the main branch of this unit was located in Pingfang district of Harbin, which is now in China. It had many other branches as well, which included Linkou, Mudanjiang, Sungwu and Haler. However, after the Second World War, in all these laboratories, the work of doing dangerous experiments stopped. And these places became deserted. Now people come to many of these places even for sightseeing. So friends, you must give your opinion on this cruelty in the comment box. And yes, to know more such information, must subscribe our channel.